Hey everybody, we've got a great video for you today because myself and Alex from EV Buyer's Guide, say hi Alex.
Hey everybody.
We are taking a detailed look at the new Polestar 3, their all new luxury EV SUV, and in this video we're going to take you around the outside, the inside, tell you about the battery and the specs, when it goes on sale, and everything you want to know. And Alex, you like the look of the Polestar 3?
I have to say I like the look, and I like the fact that it's really taking Polestar in a different direction than where they've been before, because every other Polestar's looked very Volvo-like. And even though this is essentially an electric two-row EX90, it definitely doesn't look Volvo on the outside.
Right, it rolls on the Volvo platform, if I'm correct. And I really like this design element. So at the front of the Polestar 3 is this wing that Polestar says funnels air through the hood and actually accelerates the air up and over the car. But visually what it does is it raises the front end without ruining the aerodynamics because it's actually a pass-through. Really cool little bit of design trickery there. Unfortunately, it does make accessing the front trunk a little bit harder because you've got like an 8-inch gap before you can lift it up.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. It definitely also gives me some Jaguar I-Pace vibes.
Totally, 100%, yeah, and this vehicle competes with vehicles like the I-Pace, like the BMW iX, Mercedes-Benz EQE SUV, and these headlights, kind of iconic Polestar, but unlike the 4 and some of the other ones we're looking at, it's one unit, right Alex? There's not a split
Yeah, it's
unit.
one unit, and then they give us a little bit of the nod to other Polestars with this little section. I guess that's a kind of a Volvo styling cue down there. I do see a little bit of Volvo in that.
Well, Alex, let me do this. I'll take the camera from you, film you for a sec, and we're going to talk about some of the specs. Now, there is a hint to the battery down here.
Yep, 111 kilowatt hours. It's a pretty darn big battery pack, and the power output, 380 kilowatts. This is definitely going to be a swift vehicle. It's also an SUV with an air suspension, so we actually get SUV-like ground clearance, unlike the Polestar 4, which is a lot lower. And then it's going to raise itself up if you want extra ground clearance for off-roading. These are 265 width tires on the front. That did surprise me because those are wider than on some of these other ones they have here. Let's check out the back tires, 295s back there, because the Polestar 3 is going to be fairly heavy. It is built on that 3-row platform. Of course, big battery, 111 kilowatt hours, and big, massive motors. But I do like the style. What do you think of this, this floating roof thing, but also the sort of sloping profile? It's more coupe-like shape, I guess?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I love that they still retain a very flat back for storage capacity back there, which is cool. So we're looking at 489 horsepower in the standard one, over 500 if you get the performance.
Yep, and they say that's just the start because that's theoretically why you would want to get this over the EX90. They're very closely related. This one's going to be the more performance-oriented one as far as suspension tuning, steering, handling, etc. And there are going to be even more powerful versions coming in the future.
Let's check out the trunk, Alex, because that's very important in this class. You want to pop it open?
Yep, and that is down here, just above the license plate. We do have a wiper. I know a lot of people want EVs with wipers. The cargo area is a little smaller than I thought, to be honest.
Yeah, why would you say that? Just because like the opening is kind of limited?
I mean, the EX30, or EX90 rather, if you fold down the third row, that cargo area is huge. They did change some of the exterior dimensions, obviously, here, but we have even more storage under the floor. Nice, big, deep cargo well there.
Very, very cool. And we also do have a front trunk in this vehicle, which we'll show at the end. Now, Alex, how do you think the look of this car compares with like the BMW, the Mercedes?
I like this look way better than the very gummy bear, sort of shape that we find in the EQS and EQE. I do think the iX is intriguing looking, but I think this front end is cleaner, more modern and cleaner than the iX. I don't mind the bucktooth look, but the rest of the iX is a little busy, and this comes across as cleaner, I guess.
Now, probably the weirdest feature of this car is actually up here on the roof, this little hat.
The Beluga Bump.
The Beluga Bump. Now, that is for the upcoming LiDAR technology.
This was going to be one of the first vehicles on sale with LiDAR in the US. Actually, EV9 is beating the Volvo group to that. But like the EX90, we're going to have the LiDAR on top. Unlike the EX90, it is going to be optional here. So it's actually going to be a little bit of different feature set vehicle to vehicle. So you're going to find it on more EX90s to begin with. And on here, it's going to be a limited number, and it's going to be later production because the Polestar 3 is going to be built in the US eventually. Production's going to start in China. It's then going to move to South Carolina. And when it moves to South Carolina, that's when you'll be able to get the expanded LiDAR function.
All right, you want to take the camera, Alex? I'll hop in the driver's seat. You want to hop in the passenger and check out the inside.
Want to start up here?
All right, so as we make our way inside, Alex, first of all, vehicle goes on sale starting in 2024. If you do want that LiDAR, you're going to have to wait till the Q4 of 2024. And we've got this large 14.5-inch vertical display.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Because the Polestar 4, which they also showed us here, has a horizontal display. I think this makes the dash look cleaner, but I don't like the functionality as much.
Well, I do like that it is running Google operating system, including Google Maps. So you got that crystal crisp, clear view of the U.S., along with all of Google's fantastic traffic info, which is top notch. But you don't like the functionality as much. Why is that, Alex?
I just think just the look. I like it better when the same information, obviously, because the same software, is just arranged horizontally. I think that's just a little bit easier to for my head to deal with, I guess.
Yeah, I
it's just a personal preference thing.
That makes sense. Very minimalist interior, though, as we've come to expect for Polestar. I do like this. They still give you a little driver instrument cluster, so you got your important information up there. Transmission selector, gone back to the column shift.
And I think that little display moves with the steering wheel, right?
Let's see. Let's find out. Is it a manual adjustment? It's got to be automatic.
I don't remember. That's a good question. I want to say that the release. I want to say the release is in here. No. Oh no, we're crazy.
No, interesting. Huh. I wonder where they hide it. Maybe they put it in the screen, like Tesla has done. But the wireless charging pad right here, Alex. We've got our volume control over here. Play, pause. 2 large cup holders. Hide away the cup holders. Don't love the piano black.
Yeah, there's a lot of piano black. I do have to say that.
Good storage in there. You can see the key cards as well. And then down here, we got USB-C ports and a little snug cubby if you want to keep your phone out of reach there.
Yeah, a little bit less storage going on here in the center console on this platform, which I've always been surprised by.
Now, Polestar is known for labeling various things like the sensors on the front, and they also have a label on the seats, Napa leather, animal welfare secured. I don't love this because this is on the car permanently. You know, like
you know what? But you can brag, because if I hopped in your car and I'm like, "Hey, Tommy, what's this all about here?" Then you can humble brag and be like, "Yeah, I have that."
Now, seats are very Volvo, wouldn't you say, Alex?
Oh yes, very Volvo, and the same control as the EX90. Very same sort of powered cushion extension. I really like that because Volvo seats are very, very comfy.
And these ones are no exception. They feel really good.
What do you think about the wood trim on the dash? Because this has not just the leather; it also actually has real wood, something that's controversial in EVs.
I do like it a lot. Makes it feel more premium, and there's also this neat little LED line lit up that extends the length.
And actual manual air vents that you can open and close and move around without touching the screen.
Which is great. And we're also looking at, in this vehicle, a 25-speaker Bowers and Wilkins sound system.
Yeah,
with
check that out.
That little spaceship there up on the dash.
That is a really cool thing. That's kind of similar to what Volvo has done in the past. So, this is probably going to make its way to some Volvo models soon, I would guess.
Can I borrow that camera? Alex, I found one thing I really hate.
Uh-oh.
They've gone with the ID4.
No.
The ID4 window switches.
Oh, that's even weirder because it's just 2 buttons. Okay.
So 2 buttons, and then you have to cycle to the
rear. We can't have everything.
Alex, why don't you hop into the back and I'll film you. Let's see what the rear
All right,
room
let's
looks
see
like.
what that's like. Now this front seat is all the way back, and actually it's a little bit reclined, so you can see that there's a lot of room back here, and that's thanks to this really being that 3-row platform. Also, lots of headroom. Let's sit upright. I have maybe about 2.5 inches of headroom here. I believe these seats recline. Do you recall that, Tommy?
Do you have
I think
recline?
there's a button there. But no, they do not. They fold and they don't recline. So pretty decent headroom. Little cup holders there. It's a really wide bench too, which is another nice touch. With the Polestar 3, Polestar really wants you to think of this as an electric Porsche Cayenne competitor, something along those lines. So I would say that the fit and finish back here and the materials quality and the room kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I also love the floor, right? Completely flat, not even a small hump there. USB-C ports, heated seats in the rear. Looks like we got some vents as well.
Yeah, and of course the Polestar yellow seat belts, definitely a classic touch there. Let's check out, is there a ski pass through? There is.
Oh,
Look at that. So if you're a skier, you can ski pass through, but I wish it had the 40-20-40 folding seats.
You don't like this setup here?
I mean, it's okay. I would rather have the ski pass through than nothing, but I would have loved some 40-20-40 design for that IKEA run.
I think the rear seat room is actually a highlight. I mean, it really has a lot of room back here.
This really has a nice feel to it. And that was one thing I noticed the first time I got into Polestar 3 a number of months ago. I am surprised, though, no rear window shades for $85,000 and change base. This is obviously going to be more expensive, but nice ambient lighting touches. I don't know if you can see it down here, but this ambient lighting under the armrest, the Bowers & Wilkins logo there on that Bowers & Wilkins speaker grill, and basically everything in here is a soft touch material, like the lower portion of the doors, this midsection, everything is really nicely done.
But Model X, you can get a third row in this class.
That's true.
Now let's finish it up and talk about pricing, Alex. So this vehicle goes on sale in not too long, starting in 2024. And it starts at about $83,900, $84,000.
Yeah, it's a little dear, and it's going to go up from there. And you can bet that when we get more powerful versions, there is a Polestar here that's going to be 884 horsepower. I have no idea if that's going to make it to the Polestar 3, but if it ever does, you can bet that this would be fantastically expensive.
Right, and as configured with the performance pack, you're going to be looking at over 90, especially with the LiDAR tech.
Yeah, and all the extra cameras all around. Got 2 cameras there with little washers, etc. I have to say, it's a really solid look. They want you to view this as obviously a Tesla Model X competitor with the 2-row Model X. I would say that the pricing scheme makes sense as far as that comparison goes. Roominess on the inside, it's going to be a little different in certain dimensions, but it's a solid Porsche Cayenne competitor, I would say. And I think that's really where Polestar wants you to see this.
So what are you thinking, Alex? Initial impression, are you thinking EX90 or Polestar 3?
You know, I really like the optional third row, and I also like the more traditional style of the Volvo. That's just me personally. So I think if my money were on the line, I would probably buy the Volvo. If you want the faster, more dynamic, better handling one, my money is on the Polestar 3 though.
Yeah, and if you want to save money, you don't get the 2. Well, you could get the 2, but you can also get the 4.
You can also get the 4, yeah, and that's a very different kind of vehicle, but you could get the 4, you know, or you could actually get the EX90, because the EX90 is going to start a little bit less expensive, not have as much power, but it's going to be, you know, maybe about $3,000 less.
Well, folks, Alex, if folks want to find you, where are you at?
You can find us at Auto Buyer's Guide and EV Buyer's Guide on all your favorite things.
Yep.
We'll see all of you later.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to find us, alltfl.com. We'll see you in the next one. I do like this. It's easy to remember.